Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to the channel and happy Thanksgiving week, I guess. Okay, so we are officially in Thanksgiving week, which means that Black Friday is basically tomorrow. That being said, I had hoped that I was going to do this video a little bit earlier because you all know here on my channel, I personally don't believe in paying full price for makeup, and Black Friday tends to be one of the biggest sales of the year. But is it me? Or are these sales just not salesing this year? Because I was kind of waiting for me to get, you know, the real deals, and I guess we just gonna get what they're gonna give us because I don't know what's going on. And we'll get into the individual sales, but I just want to say holistically, I feel like this year the sales are comparable to the sales that they do throughout the year. So I personally don't feel that compelled to shop. And I also want to remind you guys, as I like to do here, is that there will always be another sale. Please don't feel pressure to shop. Please don't feel like you have to buy anything. None of us needs any of this stuff anyway. And there will always be another sale. So for today's video, I'm going to go through the sales that have caught my eye or that I've heard about, let you guys know if there are specific products from the brands that I recommend, and also just overall let you know that for each of the brands that are having the sale, is it a good sale or not, or should you just skip it because it's not anything special. So without further ado, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, keep on watching, and let's dive in. And this is not a comprehensive list of all of the brands that are currently having sales. This is actually about 10 to 12 brands that I just found and caught my eye. So there's going to be a ton more sales, a ton more brands having sales, but this is just the ones that just kind of came up for me. So that's what we're going to go through. So first and foremost, Melt Cosmetics, they are having 50% off site-wide. Now, Melt is well known for doing 50% off sales. They go on sale all the time, especially on Sephora. Now, I had heard a rumor back in the day that they were actually leaving Sephora, which is why their products were consistently always on sale. They still seem to be there. So I don't know if that's true or not, or like what the timing of that is potentially. But I will say that when it comes to 50%, they're always on 50% off. Quite frankly, I've seen them go lower than that, and I don't know if it's just because people aren't shopping Melt as they used to. So while I do think 50% off is great, because it is Black Friday, I feel like all brands should start at 50% off. So while I will admit that it is a great sale, it is not a new sale for the brand. So if you are like working within a budget and you have to cut some things, I think you can cut Melt because chances are you will get it on 50% at a later time. And in terms of what you might want to pick up from Melt, I don't know, y'all. Melt is not one of those brands that I feel particularly compelled or drawn to, or it's not a priority brand for me. And the formulation and quality has been somewhat inconsistent. So in terms of like products, I can't recommend anything. What I can recommend though is that they have a little fanny pack. Absolutely love. It comes in black and green. I think if I were to pick anything up from the Melt website, it's going to be the fluorescent green fanny pack. I don't know why, but I absolutely love it. Funny enough, last year during their Black Friday sale, the black one was on sale and it was stupid discounted. I remember paying $10 for this black fanny pack. I think now with the 15% off, it is $19 or somewhere around there. I will be sure to pop up a picture so you guys can see. So I think that that's a good product to pick up. I know it's not makeup, but like I can't in good faith recommend Melt makeup to you guys when I know that they are much better quality products on the market. Sorry, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and if you see me looking down, it's because I have all my notes on my laptop. The next brand on my list is Fantasy Cosmetica. So Fantasy Cosmetica, one of the good things about this Black Friday sale is that they are also allowing affiliate codes to stack. Now, I'm an affiliate with Fantasy Cosmetica. Quite frankly, the vast majority of the palettes and the products in my collection were products that I got in PR. So if you were interested in a specific palette, make sure you check out my videos. I have a ton of videos on pretty much every palette that they've released. So if you want to see swatches or how it performs on my skin tone and just my overarching thoughts, make sure you check that out. Now they have a couple of different discounts depending on what you're picking up. So their palettes and bundles are going to be 30 to 40% off. Their lip oils and lipsticks are going to be 50% off. Their single eyeshadows are going to be 30% off. Their perfumes are going to be 30% off. Their brush packs are going to be 25% off. Single brushes though are going to be 10 to 25% off. And the Cradled in Ice 12 pan palette is going to be 20% off. So I know that that's a lot, Fantasy Cosmetica has a really great catalog of products. One thing I don't see here are the candles, so I'm assuming that that is not going to be on sale. They did say that there are some exclusions, like their Enchanted Autumn and Harvest of Souls collection or slash palettes. Those are not going to be included in the sale. That's a little bit unfortunate because I do think the Harvest of Souls palette, which is their newest release, is amazeballs. Like, that would have been the first thing that I recommended. If you are looking for palettes that are not that one, the Druid palette is really, really good. The Fighter palette is also really, really good. Most of their palettes perform amazing. Most of their palettes also have a really good matte ratio where it shows up on deeper complexions. There is one palette that was not made for us though. And I can't remember the name, but it was that blue one. I'll try to put it up in text so that you guys know the one to avoid. But overall, most Fantasy Cosmetica palettes work really well for me, and I think are really good for deeper skin tones, and just the quality is really nice, and the color stories are curated so well. So I definitely recommend the palette. In terms of the fragrances, you guys know I love all of their fragrances. The Lost Library fragrance has been one that I've been wearing a lot lately. It's actually the one that I'm wearing today. But you can't go wrong with any of the Fantasy Cosmetica fragrances. One thing I will say though about their fragrances is that they are unisex leaning masculine. So if you are someone that prefers more gourmand, more fruity, floral, very, very feminine scents, I don't think that their fragrance catalog is the one for you, because it does tend to lean a little bit more musky, a little bit more masculine, a little bit more unisex. That is where I prefer to sit. So if you have like a fragrance profile that's similar to mine, or you prefer fragrances that I like, I would say absolutely the Fantasy Cosmetica fragrances are amazing. And they are one of the longest lasting fragrances that I've tried. I don't know, something about them, they just like sit and they just last, and you can continuously smell them. They don't fade at all. So 100% recommend that. Their lip oil and their lipsticks, they're fine. I have no complaints against them. If you were interested in specific shadows and you didn't want to buy a palette, I love that they're offering the single shadows at 30% off. So you can either get the mattes or the multichromes. If you just wanted like one specific shade, that's really awesome. And their brushes are also really nice. Like, I am not a synthetic brush gal. I truly prefer natural haired brushes because I find synthetic brushes to be a little bit scratchy. But I will say the Fantasy Cosmetica synthetic brushes are actually really, really soft. I prefer their face brushes over their eyeshadow brushes because it is still harsher than my natural haired brushes, but their synthetic face brushes are really nice. I love those. So if you are in the market for some brushes, definitely check those out. And one thing to note about the sale is that it actually starts Sunday, November 24th. That's today. And it's going to run through December 3rd. So you have a little bit of time after Black Friday, but make sure you get your orders in quickly. And make sure you remember that affiliate codes do stack. So if you use my code Jamila, on top of whatever 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% off, you'll get an additional 10% off. So definitely check that out. Okay, next up, the next brand I want to talk about is Natasha Denona. Now Natasha Denona's sale is going to run from November 21st through the 29th. So it really stops on Black Friday. And I know that people have been promoting this for a while now. And like the Fantasy Cosmetica, there are a couple of different like things that are being offered. So apparently hybrids, I don't know what that is 25% off. Eyes, so like the eyeshadow palettes, those are going to be 25% off. Cheeks are going to be 35% off. Lips, 35% off. Base products are going to be 40% off. And tools or accessories are also going to be 40% off. When it comes to Natasha Denona, the only thing that I buy from her is her eyeshadow palettes. I don't know any other products, so I can't recommend anything else for you. But 25% off for eyeshadow, is that a joke? You know what I mean? And I say that because in previous years, Natasha Denona has offered buy one, get one free, basically, on her eyeshadow palettes, which is essentially 50% off. So the fact that we're offering 25, like, did I read that wrong? Let me actually double check on the website, because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, no, eyes are 25% off. And if you want to build your own bundle, you can get 40% off. So in some ways, if you were to build a bundle of like 2 palettes, you could get 40% off of that bundle. So that's not terribly bad. I will note that there are exclusions. So the new palette, the Roxa palette, that isn't included in anything else. And the palettes that are offered for the bundles are like older palettes that have been on the market for a while. So if you think like one bundle here is this retro and bronze. Those are two very old palettes in Natasha's catalog. You can get both of them for $82.80. What does that work out to? $41 a piece? I mean, it's just... The reason why I'm hemming and hawing on this is because I know Natasha has done buy one, get one free for her palettes in the past, especially on Black Friday. So I feel like this is not the biggest sale. I also think that throughout the year, sometimes Natasha's palettes will go on sale for 50% off. So if you were not in a rush to pick up any of these palettes, I think you can get it cheaper. Even now looking at the Retro Glam palette, you can pair that with the Xenon palette for that same $82.80. I got that Xenon palette for 50% off from Ulta. I can't even remember when. I think it was like Labor Day or Memorial Day, one of those sales. I got it for 50% off. And the Retro Glam I picked up on Ipsy for like 24 bucks. So I don't think that this is a must-have sale because I do think that Natasha's palettes have gone up to 50% before. And as for the rest of the products in her catalog, the base, the tools, the accessories, I don't buy any of them, so I can't recommend them to you guys, but let me know. Are you shopping Natasha's Sale? What are your thoughts on that? So on bundles, there are a couple of options. There's a curated bundles that you can't change, and that's going to be 40% off. Then you can build your own bundle, and that's going to be 35% off. There are three options for the build your own bundle. For option 1, you can either get 2 midi palettes. Option 2, you can get 3 mini palettes. And option 3, you can get 1 eyes, 1 lip, 1 cheek. And the exclusions are that Rockstar palette that I talked about, and it looks like I Need a Nude. So that's what your options are. Okay, so the next sale that I want to tell you guys about is Eam. Eam is going to be offering 20% off site-wide from November 18th to December 13th. You guys know how I feel about Eam. I love their products. It is a makeup artistry brand. It does tend to be a little bit more pricey, and it doesn't have as large of a catalog as some of the other brands that are on the market, but the products are amazing. I'm not planning to shop because I think I have pretty much everything from the brand that I could possibly need so far. Wait, I lied. Let me take that back. I actually did buy like 3 brushes. So I bought 3 brushes, but that's neither here nor there. But I have seen them do 20% off before. I've seen them offer it during, again, another like Labor Day, Memorial Day type sale. So 20% off isn't exactly special for what the sales are when they offer them. So if you wanted to wait, you probably could, because this doesn't feel like it's significantly larger or different than any other Eam sale. Does that make sense? And this is what I mean by all of these brands are putting out sales that I've seen them do for like Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July. Like, is Black Friday just like another holiday now? Like, is it not the sales day anymore? What's going on? I don't know, y'all. Speaking of just offering 20% off, Hourglass is also offering 20% off site-wide. Again, this is something that they've done before consistently. It's also the exact same price that you get for the Sephora VIB sale. My thoughts on Black Friday is that it should start at 50% off. But if not, 35 should be the minimum. 35, 40, 50, that's what I'm looking at. So when I see a 20% off sale, I'm like, that's not a sale. So Hourglass is offering 20% off, which I feel like they've been doing that for weeks/months now. It doesn't feel special. I don't think you need to rush out and like shop the Hourglass sale. It's basically the Sephora VIB sale if you are a Rouge, and it is a sale that they offer for every single holiday. Okay, the next brand that I want to talk about is Refa. So Refa, they do always have a pretty great sale. Right now, they're offering up to 60% off site-wide. I think this is a great time for you to stock up on your brushes. I have a ton of Refa brushes. I really love their natural haired brushes as a like beginner brush bundle. So if you were interested in transitioning from synthetic brushes to natural haired brushes, start with Refa. They're the cheapest options on the market, and then you can work your way up to like the Sonia G's or whatever. But 60% off is really affordably priced considering what else is on the market. They've done this before as well. So when it comes to Refa, I do think they offer really, really good sales throughout the year. Even though this is the highest discount that they offer, even at their slightly lower discounts, they are still really good. So I know a couple of their bundles are like $10 brushes. Everything is less than 20 bucks a piece. So really, really good option, again, if you are in the market for brushes. If you're not, don't go and buy no brushes, okay, y'all? So the next brand that I want to talk about is Sydney Grace. So their Black Friday sale is going to run from November 25th to December 3rd. So that's tomorrow through December 3rd. So you have a couple of days after Black Friday. And they're going to offer 35% or more off of everything in stock. I don't know what the or more is going to be, so I'm going to assume that the 35% might be their palettes, their eyeshadow, which is probably their most popular product. And then as they get into the other products like cheeks and lips and whatnot, it might be a little bit cheaper. If you buy nothing else from Sydney Grace, please buy the Tracy lip cream. That lip cream is my most perfect lip product. I don't know, something about the formulation is like it offers pigment, but it's still really hydrating and juicy. I love that. And the color just works. On my complexion, that is like my perfect color. I absolutely am obsessed with it. So definitely recommend you pick up Tracy. I have like 4 or 5 of them because I buy them in bulk and I make sure that I have one in every single piece just because. I don't think I'm gonna buy anymore. I'm trying to practice some self-control. Honestly, I don't think I'm really gonna shop this Black Friday at all. Yeah, so there may not be a Black Friday haul this year because these sales are unimpressive at best. They're disappointing if we're being very honest. So I don't think I'm really gonna get anything, you guys. But we have 3, maybe 4 more brands to talk about. So the next brand that I want to talk about is Mes Beauty. This is a small indie brand, and they are having 25% off site-wide. I don't know what the dates are for this, but it's a really affordable indie brand. I definitely recommend that you check them out. I would say that their shadows tend to be a little bit less sparkly and a little bit in your face as some of the other indie brands. So if you want something that's a little bit more satin, a little bit more wearable, this is definitely a brand that I recommend checking out. And it's also, again, one of the more affordable palettes out there. Like their Swarthy palette, which is what I got introduced to the brand with, was like 25 bucks. So hey, I think everything is pretty much under $40 and you're gonna get 25% off of that. So definitely worth taking a look there. Next up, Huda Beauty. And this is probably the only brand that's actually offering a real sale. So Huda sale runs from November 21st to December 2nd, and they're offering up to 80% off. Now, I haven't dug into the website to see what specifically is at 80% off, so I know that not everything is at like the crazy discount, but up to 80% off is great, and there's a ton of products that are going to be available on the Huda sale. Personally, I don't really check for Huda Beauty. I have bought some of their large palettes, which I don't use. So it's not a brand that I'm particularly interested in, but I love that their price and the discounts are really high. Let me actually pull up the website to see what is going to be 80% off. Okay, so like their under eye color corrector is $22.50 from $30. That's 25% off. It looks like their body brush thing is 60% off. A couple of the fragrances, or this one, invite only amber travel fragrance, is 30% off. The plumping lip balm and the moisturizing wand brush, those are 80% off. Lashes are 60% off. The Pretty Grunge palette, which was their large palette from last year, that's 40% off, which is not bad. So from $69 to $41.40. A lot of their like brush and tool products are in the 40% off range. And a lot of their travel fragrances are 30% off. So even though everything is not 80% off, I would say like 30, 40, 50% off is popping up a lot, which is great. And it looks like the Icy Nude collection, which is their newest palette, that one is going to be 15% off. I'm glad that they included that. I wonder if you could get the palette by itself. So much here. There's a lot of merch too. Lots and lots and lots of products, you guys. So definitely worth checking them out. The Empowered palette, which was from 2 years ago, that one is also 40% off. Ooh, Tobacco Oud, that is 20% off. So some of the fragrances are 20, some are 30% off. There's just a lot to go through, you guys. And a lot of their bestsellers are on sale as well. So definitely recommend taking that off. Ooh, so there is a Travel Essential Trio that's 60% off, but that's out of stock. I would have bought that too. 3 travel sprays for 22 bucks. That's not bad. All right, So moving along, definitely check out the Huda Beauty sale because they are offering a ton of products and the discounts seem to be really, really good. Next up, we have one of my absolute favorite brands, Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Now their sale will run from November 29th to December 1st, and they are offering 35% off site-wide. Now this is actually a sale for Blend Bunny. Typically, they will do 20 to 25% off. That's like the highest you will see like during the regular time of the year. So 35% off is actually really, really good. Now, what they have also done in previous sales, and I don't even want to call them sales, is that throughout the year, every now and then, something will go kind of like on clearance for a couple of days, maybe like a week or so. So I'm not sure if there will be anything on clearance and then you can get this additional discount on top of it, but that might be the case. So keep an eye out for that. You do have to use the code Black Friday, and you guys know Blend Bunny is one of my favorite brands, so I definitely recommend you guys check them out, particularly if you're interested in any of their collab palettes that they've just released. That Divination palette by Robert, chef's kiss. Longing, amazing. I do have a full rankings video of Blend Bunny, so that could be a good resource for you guys. Next up, Danessa Myricks. This is a brand that I like, but don't love, but admire. And I say that because like Danessa does a lot of like cream products, liquid products, and that's not necessarily my ministry, but I do appreciate how innovative the brand has always been. Like they're always doing something that feels like unique to whatever else is on the market, whether it be their packaging or their formulation. It's always something that's a little bit different that makes you take a second look. So they are also offering 35% off site-wide. Here's the caveat though. Their Freedom, is it called a Freedom palette? Their Lightwork palette for this year is not included. Now that was honestly the only thing that I wanted from the Danessa Myricks sale, so it is kind of disappointing. Their brushes are also excluded as well. So if you were interested in their, what are those little single thingamabobs, that is available as well. Now I have seen those up to 50% off when they do like a QVC sale, but it's not typical for them to have that high of a discount. So 35% off is pretty good for the brand. I don't know, y'all. I only wanted the Freedom palette. That was like the one thing that was on my like wish list. So the fact that that is excluded is a little bit disappointing. So it just means I'm not going to be shopping the brand. But yeah, so that's it. The next brand that I want to talk about, and this is the second to last one because again these sales are kind of meh. Adep is offering 30% off if you spend $175 or more, and if you spend less than $175, you're gonna get 20% off with an affiliate code. So I do have an affiliate code with Adep. It's just Jamila. So instead of my code giving you 10%, it'll give you 20% off, and if you want to get that 30% off, you have to spend $175. I don't know, y'all. Like, I love Adep. I think their quality is amazing, but $175 is a lot. I feel like even with their palettes being pricey, right? They're 60 to 75-ish bucks. You'd have to buy, what, 3, 4, at least 4 palettes to hit that $175 mark. So unless you don't have any Adep palettes or you don't have a huge collection, I'm at a loss for words. And the 20% off to me is just like, really? Because I've seen Adep offer 25% off before. So like 20% off feels like nothing when they've offered 25% off before. So I personally think you should skip this sale entirely. Unless you were planning to go into this knowing that you were going to buy a ton of products that would let you hit that $175 mark. I don't see the point in this because 20% off, they've offered that before, and they've even offered 25% off before. And one of the things that Adep does that I also kind of appreciate is that sometimes on their sales, they'll just pick one palette, and that one palette will be 25% off. So if you really just want to buy one palette, just wait for, you know, another sale. I just don't think this 20% off is, what is that? You know what I mean? I'm so confused. Now, I'm going to sneak in an indie brand in here before we get to the last one. But Ensley Rain is also another brand that is offering select products on sale. I definitely recommend you check out the Ensley Rain sale. It is not every palette, so that's the one downside to their sale, is that it's not like a site-wide discount, but there are certain palettes that are steeply discounted, and I actually think the ones that they chose are quite nice. So for example, their Flutter and Flourish palettes, which are their small palettes that they just came out with, those are $33 from $50 and $55. So the Flutter palette is the more colorful one. That one was originally $50 and it is on sale for $33. So not bad at all. And the Flourish palette, that one was originally $55. It's on sale for $36. The Cosmic Dreamer palette, that one was originally $69. It's on sale for $45. I actually did pick that one up because it's so beautiful. The Twisted Tea Party palette, originally $83 and on sale for $54. I skipped down on that one because it is just like pretty colorful and I'm not really interested in that at all. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it. Some of the ones that I think are more popular, like Flower Moon and Harvest Moon, those are not on sale. So if you just wanted to try the brand and get a feel for the formula, I think you can pick up the ones that are on sale and still get a really nice palette. But if you were looking for something specific, unfortunately, there's not like a site-wide sale. Okay, and then the last brand that I want to talk about is the one that I feel like I was disappointed in this the most. And that is because I think Pat McGrath is known for doing really good Black Friday sales. And I just don't know what's happening this year. So Pat McGrath is offering 50% off of select products. Here's the thing though. The select products are, how do I say this? Old. Just old. So like the products that are 50% off are last year's holiday products. And I'm trying to do the math from a couple of perspectives, right? One, makeup expires. We all know this. And granted, this is new and unused makeup. But this is just, I'm assuming it's just been sitting in a warehouse somewhere for like a year. And it's confusing to me because in prior years, Pat McGrath has offered like a tiered shopping system. So you spend less than $100, you get 20% off. You spend $125, you get 25% off. You spend $175 or more, you get 30% off, right? So that's kind of what I expected, is that we would have that like tiered discounted system, and it applied to everything site-wide because I was really interested in picking up the holiday palette with that discount. But now that it is only select products that are 50% off, and these select products are like literally old from the vault products, and I talked about the holiday set from last year, but that's probably the most recent thing that's in that lineup of products. There's even older products that's on the sale. So I'm just confused. Now I'm hoping / wondering if this is like the early Black Friday sales and then there'll be more stuff added later on. But I also just don't know. If this is what we're getting, I mean, is that it? And it is a little bit disappointing to me too, because similar to like other brands where there's like a percentage off, like kind of like Melt, I like shopping Pat McGrath now more for merch than anything else. Like I have all of the motherships. I have way more Pat McGrath products than I need. And I actually do enjoy her merch. Like I have like some crew necks, some, you know, sweaters and all that fun jazz. And I kind of wanted the hoodie. And those are expensive. But with like the discount, it makes it better. So for me, I'm just like, I can't get no merch this year. I just don't know. Pat McGrath, first we didn't get no mothership this year. And now we're getting a non-sale sale. I don't know, y'all. It's just... And that was the last brand that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So as you can probably tell, as I went through these brands, I'm disappointed. I don't think anything is really worth shopping. Which makes me really sad because I know a lot of us waited and, you know, we're holding out for Black Friday to get the best savings. But to see what we're being offered, I just don't think anything's worth it. Now, if you do want to pick something up, if it's what you know, were planning to buy for yourself or others for holiday gifts, any discount helps. It is better than paying full price. So I don't want to completely discourage you guys from shopping. But I do want to say, if it is not as dire as like you need to give it to someone as a gift or something like that, I think that there are better sales that have been offered, and it just seems like this isn't that. Anyways, I'm sorry. I know I'm ending on a little bit of a low note, but I'm just disappointed in these Black Friday sales. But let me know what you guys think. Have you seen better sales? Am I missing something? What's going on? But let me know your thoughts on the Black Friday sales that you've seen so far, and if you plan on shopping. If you don't know what to comment, or you just wanted to support the channel, go ahead and leave an orange heart in the description box down, not the description box, in the comment box down below. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.